Hey guys, welcome to the bird's nest. I had to come on real quick because the sky is falling, the sky is falling. But before I get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe for all your NFL recaps, news, and gossip. Huh? What happened? Oh, my stuff go. Why I do that? Why I do that? Oh, I don't know why I did that. My bad, my bad. Okay, so, all right, I'm a little behind. It's been cold. I've been working from home, which means, I'll be in my pajamas half the time, okay? Most of the time, unless I go to the store. Anyway, so first of all, our nephew, Shedeur, did get elevated to the Pro Bowl because Drake May was the Pro Bowl quarterback and he's in the Super Bowl, and so he can't be the Pro Bowl quarterback. And who knows? There may have been, who knows? Y'all know how I feel about the NFL and how they move. But it could have been that everyone that was above Shador in the voting turned it down, or they were injured, or the NFL just wanted him in that spot so that he can um, get some eyes on that game. I'm going to watch for the first time in my life. So it worked on me. So they could have did that on purpose. They know who Shador is. They have learned who he is. I don't know if they knew before. I don't think they knew before the draft, but they know now. And I think they're trying to, at a minimum, capitalize on him. So he's the Pro Bowl quarterback. Yay! Of course, people have been melting down on Twitter ever since. I don't know. It's never any other social media platform where it's as bad, toxic, negative as Twitter. So they've been melting down ever since. Oh well, too bad, so sad. As I said, Drake May went last year, and his rookie year wasn't um, Pro Bowl worthy, but it was the same exact situation. He had to fill in for some other quarterback. So that's that. He's going, and I'm gonna watch it. Flag football and all. I know the football fans who don't care about these players at all. That's one thing I have learned as I became a diehard football fan. These fans really don't care about those players at all. And so they would prefer that they play a full-fledged, knockdown, drag-out football game for the Pro Bowl because it used to be that way. But why should football players be going through that in a game that doesn't matter? So they don't do it anymore. I think they need to revamp it and make it into like one of these TV shows that have all these activities. Maybe you could call it an obstacle course. Make it more fun, because these football fans don't have no interest in no ding dang flag football game. I'm gonna watch it, and all the other things that they do. They do things in the middle of the game, like I heard mention a tug of war, which is kind of stupid, and a dog show last year. I like dogs. I would have enjoyed a dog show. So who knows? We'll see how it goes. I never watched it before. Now, so that's that on that. Shedeur Sanders, Pro Bowler. Shedeur Sanders. The news today, the Browns finally picked their coach. And I said it in a post the other day because everybody kept talking about Udinsky, Shiohas, and Schwartz. That's what they were. That's who they wanted. And I was like, y'all acting like Monken doesn't exist. He's still there. Udinsky gone. Monken's still there. And I think somebody responded that they would kill themselves if that happened. I hope they're all right. Because Todd Monken is the brand new head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And the Browns posted it on their Instagram story, and Dion liked it. And Shador reposted the Cleveland Browns post on his story and said, let's work. So they on board. Now, Shedeur would have been happy with Stefanski. I think, Shedeur was going to gravitate toward whoever his coach was, but Stefanski didn't want him. So now he has a coach that wants him, right? Y'all know he want him, right? Y'all know that was part of the interview. They ain't talk about it. Nobody talked about it. And I'm sure that nobody, they're not forcing Shedeur on anybody. The coach can come in there and say, okay, I want to get such and such a free agency. Let's see if we can get such and such, right? They could say that. They you can't draft nobody, or you could draft somebody, but they will be a lesser than. Either way, only thing the Browns are doing is, that's cool, you bring in whoever you want and let him compete with our guy. That's Shedeur. So Shedeur is going to get the opportunity to have this job. The opportunity that Kevin Stefanski withheld from him. Kevin Stefanski held a QB competition and excluded Shedeur from it. So this time, Andrew Berry already said out of his mouth, he doesn't mind the competition. Competition is good. Competition, builds strength. But the reps going to be different. He said that out of his mouth. So, AKA, our guy going to get his reps. And he can compete against whoever the coach want to bring in here. But the thing is, as you all may recall, Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator for the Ravens last year. And who did the Ravens try to draft? That's right. Shedeur Deion Sanders. So when Harbaugh got fired, I kind of wanted him to come, because these guys, they have experience with a high-performing team, right? And so I kind of wanted him to come because they tried to draft Shedeur, and there was a reason for that, and I don't know what it was. I don't think it was to be a backup. I think they had plans to sabotage Lamar, because that's what they be doing to him. The league has a free pass to sabotage Lamar. That's what I be seeing. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. Did they get a coach yet? Yeah, they got some unknown coach. So, we've got Monken. Todd Monken is our coach. Okay? Well, Jim Schwartz, who the Browns have been bending over backwards for, and allegedly telling candidates that they want to keep Jim Schwartz, saying publicly that they want to keep Jim Schwartz. The team, the defense, wants to keep Jim Schwartz, and even advocated for him to become the head coach. Well, since he did not get the head coaching job, he did not handle it well. He didn't handle it well. He said goodbye to people in the building, and he said to other people in the building, I quit. And he stormed out the building. That's what they say happened. That's what they say happened. So Jim Schwartz, despite how they basically ran off candidates telling them that they had to keep Jim Schwartz, Jim must not have made them aware that if you don't pick me, I'm leaving. Well, he has a contract, and I don't think he can just leave like that. I think what happens is, when they get fired, they always get a severance package that is, out of this world. Millions of dollars. But if you quit, you get nothing. You get nothing. You just quit. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but he is very unhappy that he did not get the job. And so we'll see what happens. So now we get to see everything come together, because now Monken will pick his everything. This is his regime now. I believe it said he was open to keeping Jim Schwartz, but now Jim Schwartz doesn't want to be there. And even if he stays, he's disgruntled. So I don't know how that's going to work out. So he needs to hire an offensive coordinator, potentially a defensive coordinator, and all those positions, like the one that Shieldhouse has that I never even heard of before: passing game coach, linebacker coach, tight end coach, wide receiver coach. He's got to hire all that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens. Who's going to be the offensive coordinator is very important. I cannot wait to see who that is. Um, we'll see what happens with Jim Schwartz. We'll see if Shedeur gets to keep our guy, Musgrave. We want Musgrave for Shedeur. We need Musgrave for Shedeur. We'll see if he gets to keep his job. He's the quarterback coach. I wanted Shield Haas, but I also acknowledge the fact that he was young and inexperienced. And I already told y'all he was jumping from passing game coordinator, coach, whatever you want to call it, jumping over several levels he would have been doing to go to head coach. I would like him for offensive coordinator, but he committed to going back to his team. I did see that. He committed to going back to his team, so I don't think he's going to be the offensive coordinator for the Browns, although that would be a promotion for him. I wish we could get him, but it doesn't matter what I wish. It's what Monken wants. It's whoever he has in mind. He probably already done started having conversations. We're going to start seeing things over the next few days of him hiring people. So, that's that. Neff got a new coach that comes from a team that tried to draft him. So that makes me very, very happy. I'm not sad at all. And Shador's not sad. And Dion's not sad. They have expressed their acceptance of Todd Monken on social media. So I'm cool with that. Totally. But the Cleveland Brown fan base, like they like to do over every single thing, anything, all things, crying, throwing up, throwing a tantrum. Oh, we gonna lose. Who we gonna draft #1 in 2027? Y'all ain't gonna be getting no #1 pick in 2027. Did y'all see what Shedeur did with no development? Zero, not a zilch. Had the best game out of all the rookies this season with no development. You ain't getting no #1 pick next year, guys. You going to the playoffs next year. Mark my words. Let me just read these. I do have a meeting shortly, so I couldn't stay long. Okay, not many comments. Hi, Selma. I'm good. I just been sitting around because it's so cold outside. Hi, Paolo. Hi, Paolo. How you doing? Hey, Antithesis. Okay, so that's that. We'll see what happens. Everything's going to start moving now. The Pro Bowl is, I think they said Tuesday. It's on some random night. Pro Bowl, I think it's Tuesday, next Tuesday. And it's just flag football, but maybe we'll get to see some nice deep passes. You know, I don't know. I'm going to watch. It should be fun. Hey, Sandra, how you doing, sweetie? So that's that. I just had to log in and because too many things were happening. You know, I wanted to come on when Shador made it to the Pro Bowl and everybody was melting down and talking about how it's a joke. Well, it's been a joke, and it's not a joke because of the NFL's fault. It's a joke because the players don't take it seriously. They get nominated, or they win, they become Pro Bowlers, and then they opt out. It's really for young players. So, I mean, you know, those are the ones that take it more seriously. And it's not every position, it's primarily the quarterbacks that make it a nothing situation because they opt out. It's them. So Neff is in, just like Drake May was in last year when he didn't do great. Then when I said that, right, so then they want to start showing me his stats. Well, he did better than Shedeur. Of course he did. He was a top 10 draft pick, and that was another that wasn't shown on a previous post. There were Drake May, Mike Penix, Jaden Daniels, and Caleb Williams all drafted in the top 10 of the first round in the 2024 season. So all of those guys got number one draft pick development. Shador got undrafted free agent development. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's over. That era is over for nephew, and he will be developed in this offseason. And both Jimmy Haslam and Andrew Berry mentioned that being a strength of his. Developing young players. So that's all about Shedeur. He is their guy. He's QB1. If Monken wants to bring in somebody else, which I'm not even 100% sure he will, but we're going to find out. We will find out over the coming, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. We will find out where his head is on the quarterback. But I'm not 1,000% sure that he is trying to replace Shedeur. I know he knows that the Browns are not trying to replace Shedeur, but I do believe that they'll respect his decision. If he brings somebody in, say they bring in this Malik Willis that now all the Cleveland Browns swear is the guy. Every week it's a new guy. I was so glad when it started snowing on that last game with the Broncos and the Patriots, because had Bo Nix's replacement continue to play well like he started out doing, they would have been wanting him. Anybody that has a good game, the Cleveland fan base be wanting. They just like to complain. They complain about everything. Boy, get out! Sorry, that boy done lost his ever-loving mom. Okay. The main thing, a good offensive line and real wide receivers. Exactly, Selma. And then look, they be pissing me off. I'm a Browns fan now. They be pissing me off. The newscasters, the sports commentators, and who else did I see saying this? Somebody else said it too. Anyway, multiple sports commentators, but not all. A couple of sports commentators, national and Cleveland, saying they're not going to win next year. They went into this year saying the same thing. They're not going to win next year. Is that what they say every year? They're not going to win next year. We're not expecting them to win. You ain't. After that foundation they got the number 2 defense in the league. They got Fannin, Judkins, Schlesinger, Carson, that's Carson Schlesinger, and Mason Graham. They got Shedeur. They got a lot. They got several running backs that looked good. I believe they have wide receivers. I believe that Kevin Stefanski didn't get the best out of them. So, and the wide receiver coach, that's another one that got to go. I'm sure he's gone. He might be gone already. Kevin Stefanski took people with him, which is great. Because those are the ones leaking the information to the media, to, what's that boy's name? Jason Lloyd. And look, I ain't seen him in so long, I done forgotten. Hopefully I'll get to a point where I'll forget him completely. I had to unsubscribe from Ocho and them too. Speakeasy, Ocho and them. Because on today's or last night's show, they were talking about the coach, and they done wrote off Shedeur. And Acho has all of a sudden fallen madly in love with Stefanski. Got me wondering if Stefanski wrote him a check. Talking about if Shedeur couldn't be successful with Stefanski, he's not going to be successful with anyone. What? Huh? Why would you say that when you know that Kevin Stefanski didn't even develop him? Because you done talked about it 1,000 times on your show. So something weird going on over there. So I had to unsubscribe to them because that's how I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you don't support Shador, I ain't supporting you. I'm only watching you because of Shador. So if you don't believe in him and you like Kevin Stefanski over him and thinks he can only be successful with a coach that doesn't like him, man, get out of here. Unsubscribed. Bye. Black Barbie, I'm cool with the hire. I'm cool with the hire. He comes from the Ravens, and they've been successful. I mean, they haven't made it to the Super Bowl. Look, everything ain't the coach's fault. It's a combination. Okay, so they've done very well. And then I was just reading, talking about other quarterbacks that he developed in college that became first round picks. Dustin, hush. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm okay with the hire. I was okay with all the candidates. Once it got down to Udinski, Schwartz, Monken, and Shieldhouse, I was cool with all of them. Any of them would have worked fine for me. Although I was kind of scared about the Shieldhouse because it was a big promotion for him. It was gonna, skipping several levels like that. You're gonna miss things, and then he's gonna need time to develop as a head coach. Monken doesn't need that. Tell him, sis, they keep comparing Shedeur to quarterbacks who got development right. I don't get it. Was treated fairly and had a good offense. Neff did great for all. Thank you. And that's what the Browns know that. They know. They've seen everything. They've seen him in practice, which is where he was impressing his teammates and that's when they rallied behind him. And they seen him in the game with no development, thanks to Kevin Stefanski, have the best game of any rookie this season with that Titans game. So, and as for Jim Schwartz, he ain't perfect because I remember at least 3 times of other teams traipsing down the field within seemed like a minute before the end of the first half and go down there and get a touchdown with no problem. So we got some holes in our game on defense also. Defense, of course, was mostly stellar. But about a fourth of the time, they weren't. And so in addition to that problem with them letting people run down the field just right at halftime, that's where it would happen. It didn't happen like 3 times, I swear. They would score right at halftime. With like a minute to spare, they would make it. They kept doing that, and we can't stop the run game. I used to think teams were crazy. I used to wonder, why is it that every team that plays the Browns, why don't they just run? You ain't even got to pass the ball ever. Just keep running, and you can beat the Browns because they can't stop the run game. That's a problem. So they got to work on that. No, they didn't. I just got a notification from Speakeasy. I know I unfollowed them today. I'll have to go double check on that. I don't want to know nothing from them. You ain't going to talk mess about my nephew. Writing him off. I don't like when people write off Shador. That's something that offends me deeply. To just write him off and act like he's a nothing and a non-factor and basically he can't play. Whatever. Selma a lot of times. Okay, I got a meeting in 4 minutes. I got to go. I just wanted to check in and let y'all know we got our coach. Todd Monken is our coach. And I'm cool with that. And Shador's cool with that. And Dion's cool with that. And we're going to hope for the best on that thing. And if we got to have a competition for that job, we can have a competition because nephew going to take it. He going to take that job. And Andrew Berry going to make sure he get reps. He ain't going to get left out. And he probably going to get the majority of the reps. Expect it. He earned it. But thanks for watching, guys. On your way out, please don't forget to like. And I'll keep checking in as hiring start and things start moving. Oh, and the Pro Bowl, maybe even I'll go live doing that. We'll see. But y'all have a good day. Thanks for listening. And please like, comment, and subscribe. All right, guys. Mwah.